Hey guys, Jessica here. So today I'm going to show you how we fit check your traditional pumping bra. This is a pumping bra that has slits if you were to use traditional flanges, but I'm showing you how we do the fit check in a traditional style bra like this with your wearable pumps. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with your bra. You're going to adjust it as best you can. And what we're going to do is we're going to start checking from the side. You're going to look to see, is the band sitting flush across the rib cage? If the band is not sitting flush, which when we bend over, you'll actually be able to see light in between because there's a gap there that the light will go through if the breasts are not squished together completely. But we're looking for that band to be flush. The band and the cups should be sitting, if you were going to draw cartoon boobs on somebody, where you would draw the cartoon boobs would be where you would expect that band to sit. It needs to be flush to the chest. We're going to look to see, is there excess tissue coming into the armpit area? If we have a lot of spillage in this area, that's not actually fat, that's breast tissue that's being displaced by the fact that the bra doesn't fit. So we're looking for that. When you check the band, you're gonna pull on the band directly in the center. Take one, either your thumb or two fingers, and you're gonna pull. This band has very little budge. You can see as I'm pulling the band, nothing is really happening. If we see that you can really pull that band out several inches, or as you move it, the breast tissue actually moves, then we know that the band is too big. We have never actually seen somebody with the band be too small, but the way we would determine that is we would be unable to get any flex, and then we would notice that there would be lots of spillage over with the tissue in the back. We want the straps to be upright, and I want there to be very little wiggle in the breast. So like these straps actually could be tightened up, and that allows us to actually check to see. You can see when I pull on these straps, there's actually very little wiggle because everything is properly supported. And what we have you do is we have you bend over, and what we're checking for is, are the pumps migrating? So I'm actually gonna drop these straps and show you how it should not look. When I go like this, see how the pumps start to come into each other and the cleavage starts to collapse? That's straps and cups that are not supporting. But if we tighten these back up, then when you bend over, we should see very little movement in the tissue. When you are using a wearable pump, I want your bra fit to essentially defy gravity. So give me just a second and I'm gonna swap bras and show you how we would do the same thing in a Kindred Bravely style that has like the padded panel. Okay, so the Kindred Bravely style is actually one of the hardest ones to get fit. And this is gonna be the same for the padded style of Mom Cozies. These knit bands are actually what makes them so complicated. So what we're looking for specifically with a knit band, this band needs to be very snug. So this, you actually want to check it a little bit closer to out here, because right here, that fabric is at its max tension. So we actually get a lot more flex. The big thing is, again, the band needs to be entirely flush on the ribs. And you want to take and check the band going around here. We should see very little movement. This band is snug. If I was wearing this bra during the day, I would actually have it on its loosest setting because it would not be super comfortable to keep this tight all day long. But when you're using your wearables, we need to keep that band nice and snug. You want to make sure that your straps are properly adjusted because we want the bra to be holding everything up. And then again, what we're going to check, we don't want a bunch of spillage. With these padded bands, what we're going to see is more of a gap here, but there should not be spillage coming out in this area. It should be nice and tight still. And then what you're going to do is, again, you're going to do the bend over test, because what we want to see is that the bra is not allowing the pumps to come towards each other. If we have that cave-in effect, then we have an issue with the band or an issue with the cups that we need to recheck. But with these rib knit and particularly the padded, we really need to watch that band being nice and snug. With these knit bands, you are going to see more of that back fat when it's properly adjusted for a wearable because you have to get it so tight. That is normal. You can loosen it up after you get it set up for the wearable. You don't have to wear your bra this snug all day. We're also going to see that you've got to keep those straps lifted up a little bit more. So give me just a moment. I'm going to put the Kindred Bravely away and I'm going to pull out the Davin and Adley Amelia, because this one I want to show you specifically because it's a 2-layer bra. And the way we adjust those is, again, different. And there are different things we want to check with a fit check. Okay, so this is the Davin and Adley Amelia cami. It's a 2-layer crop cami bra. This is actually one of our most popular pumping bras on the market, and it's actually the one that we recommend the most because it has a really wide size range. Each bra has the ability to handle a lot of variation in your band and your cup size. So like as you fluctuate, this has the most like wiggle room because typically our ribs are getting smaller postpartum, and eventually our breasts do get smaller as we go further postpartum for most people, unless you happen to gain weight. which is what always happens to me when I'm breastfeeding. But let me show you this one because this one's different. This top layer actually pulls up. There are pumping slits in this bra that allow you to use flanges. So I can actually show you, like you can, there are pumping slits here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull your top layer up. We're gonna check that that band is sitting down here. Now you can see this actually, when the top layer is all the way up, does not really pass the jiggle test. Everything is kind of flexible because this bottom layer is not intended to be the only support, but that elastic needs to be firm underneath. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull this top layer down and get it adjusted so that it is sitting underneath the breast tissue, because this is actually going to, for most people, while you're using the wearables, it's gonna kind of ride up and provide a little bit of extra band support, which is why it's so effective. On this, you wanna make sure that these straps are nice and tight. These straps are actually meant, there's no clasp on this bra to drop it for nursing, so it's very easy to accidentally pull these straps too far forward, which we see a lot. So look at the difference in when this strap is all the way down, it's letting this wearable sag. Remember, I want your bra fit when you're using a wearable to kind of defy gravity. So we want to pull these bands, these straps up. And what we're going to check for is we want to make sure we don't have a lot of spillage in the armpit. I like to see that this band is nice and smooth to the top. And then when you bend forward again, we're going to do that check. And you can see like nothing moves with this bra because it's properly fitted. So again, you're going to pull the layer up, do the band test. There's going to be more movement in this. If I saw this much movement in a Kindred Bravier or a traditional bra, I would tell you it didn't fit. But we do know that, you know, we are going to need to, again, so pull it down, recheck it. There is less movement in there because this outer layer is acting like a support. Check your straps. Again, we don't want a lot of wiggle room. There's actually room to tighten these up a bit more. So again, you can see if I'm pulling on these straps and picking up from here, there should be very little room. And when I bend over, it should work there. And again, we're checking here. So what you're gonna do if you're doing a professional fit check with my team is you're gonna actually record yourself doing these motions so we can validate for you how it's fitting and help you figure out if it's not quite optimized, is it something we can adjust? Is there a clear sizing issue? And we compare it to your measurements based on how the bra is fitting to make sure the measurements were actually done accurately. Because it's really easy to mismeasure. Measuring your breast can be a lot harder when you're doing it by yourself because you can't always see as much as we can when we're helping you. So hopefully that helps you understand how your bra should be fitting. Check your bras and check them periodically and check each bra. So I have probably 10 different colors of these Davin and Adley Amelia camis. They all fit a little bit differently. Same with my Dairy Fairy Aylas that I love. They all fit a little differently with the different color lines. So like my pink Dairy Fairy Ayla is a lot smaller than my blue Dairy Fairy Ayla, even though they're the same size. The fabrics are slightly different. The blue is definitely stretchier. So check each bra. Take the time and make sure that your bras are doing right with your wearables so that you know that you've got that optimal support so that you can get the most from your wearable. So hopefully that helps you, and happy pumping.